All right, so let's get right into the intro here. The intro, you're basically going to take your third finger right on and lay it on the 5th fret on the 4th string. That note is a G, and then the next note that you're going to play is the 3rd string open, which is also a G, but they have different timbre to them or tone quality to them, so it gives a nice effect, even though they're really the same note. And you're going to take your first finger next and place it at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So you're going to play all 3 of those notes in succession. So you're going to play the 4th string, go ahead and hold the 5, the 0, and the 3 in the left hand and just hold them there. And then just pick 5, 0, 3. Now you see how I did when I got to the 2nd string, I hit it with an upstroke. So you're going to go downstroke on the 4th, downstroke on the 3rd, upstroke on the 2nd. That just kind of takes you back down to where you're going to need to be next, because that phrase repeats. So we're going to have this 4 times. That's twice. So you basically see that we're playing through those 3 strings twice, like this, and then just pausing and letting all the notes ring together. What you want to watch out for is make sure the 3rd finger is really arced over that 3rd string, so it's not, if it's barely touching it, it's going to mute out that string. So make sure you really come straight down the tip of your finger onto that 4th string of the 5th fret, so the open string underneath it doesn't get muted out by the bottom of that finger. Okay, so that's the intro to the song. Then we get to the verse. So it's going to start with the exact same thing, the 5-0-3 done twice. Okay, this is when he starts singing basically. And then the 2nd finger comes down next at the 4th fret, right behind the 5th. So pick up the 3rd finger and place on the same string, use your 2nd finger at the 4th fret. And then do the exact same picking pattern again. Down, down, up. So we have. Okay, we're going to continue this basically taking a note down the 4th string. The next note we need to move down to is at the 2nd fret. So obviously we can't leave our 1st finger here, because that's got to be the finger that plays that note. So what you want to do is you want to move your 1st finger to the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and you're going to still have the 3rd string open, and you're going to place that where the 1st finger was with your 3rd finger at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So now we have 2 on the 4th, 0 on the 3rd, and 3 on the 2nd. Same picking pattern again. Done twice through. Little pause. Then pick up. All you gotta do is pick up the 1st finger, and that'll make that string open, a 0. And then you just have open string, then up on the 2nd string. So all together we have. Okay, all right, so moving on along, now we gotta hold a C major chord. It doesn't really have to be a bar. You don't have to go all the way across, but it's kind of held like it is. You can actually play this chord a couple different ways. This is basically barring your 3rd finger, starting at the 5th, your 1st finger at the 3rd fret, starting at the 5th string, and going all the way across to the 1st, and then taking your 2nd finger and placing it on the 4th string, 5th fret, your 3rd finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and then your pinky on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So all we really need is those 4 middle strings, so you don't really have to have a bar to get that top one on that 1st string. But anyway, the picking here, after you've got the chord in your hand, this is a C major chord, you're going to go down on the 5th string, down on the 4th, and then you're going to do an upstroke that is going to hit both the 2nd and 3rd strings together. So we have this. Okay, so it's the same kind of pattern, just that we're hitting 2 strings now on that upstroke. So after you've done that, then you turn this into a C minor chord. And all you gotta do is leave the bar, the first finger there, take your second finger and place it at the 4th fret on the 2nd string, then take your pinky and lay it on the 5th fret, 3rd string, and then the 3rd finger at the 5th fret on the 4th string. And then you do the exact same picking pattern. So we have this. All right? And then we're going to end this part, this verse, with coming to this chord, which is like it's a G major chord, but he's going to make it a little easier on you. You just basically play the 2nd finger at the 6th string 3rd fret, and then the 3rd finger at the 2nd string 3rd fret. And you're going to pick the G first, and then you go over on the low 6th string first. Then you pick the 4th string with a downstroke as well, and that string is open. And then you come over and you do that upstroke again on the 2nd and 3rd string. So we have this. And he actually does that twice on that chord. So the whole verse is. And then he would just go back through the verse again. Now, when we go through the verse the second time, he moves down to pretty much what's the pre-chorus of the song. It's kind of a weird laid out song. It's kind of hard to determine where the chorus and verses and all that stuff are, since there's a lot of the same lyrics. But when we go back into after we did this, we went back into the verse again, and look at this ending here. Everything's the same so far, and now we'll right here. All right, so what we're going to do with this, it goes, the ending of the first verse is on the G. You do that same picking pattern, and then you do this. You do the first, you do that pattern once. So it's basically, as soon as you get to this G, basically, you do the normal picking pattern where you do it twice, and then you start it again, but this time only do it once. And then you do this little turnaround thing, which is basically take your second finger off, place your first finger at the 2nd fret on the 6th string, and now you've got those, and we're going to do this. Down on the 6th, down on the 4th, and then downstroke on the 2nd and 3rd strings. Hit them both together, and then lift up that 3rd finger, and then upstroke on the 2nd and 3rd. So we're going to play this. A little cross between them. All right, now we made it to the full, that was just a kind of a little go-between to get to the pre-chorus, and then all that is this. So that's an E minor chord in your hand, and then we have downstroke on the 6th, downstroke on the 4th, and then still that 2nd, 3rd upstroke there, and do that twice. Then it goes to a B minor chord, which is that bar chord that we just did here at the C minor, but just done at the 2nd fret. And then that same picking pattern on it. That down on the 5th, down on the 4th, then the 2 strings with the upstroke, the 2nd and 3rd. And then that same C major chord form we did earlier, same picking pattern. And then that same turnaround to get back through it again. So we basically had this. Now do that turnaround, and then back to the E again, back to the B minor, back to the C, and we're going to end this pre-chorus by moving that C chord up to a D. Just move it up 2 frets and do the same picking pattern. All right, then we're going to move on to it goes back to the verse again, okay?